think I'm live. I'm still getting used to lives. All right. Well, this morning I sat down in one of my favorite spots to meditate and get intentional about my day. And got all comfy and cozy. And then I opened my eyes and I saw blue sky. So for those of you who are local, to me, we have not seen blue skies for a long time. Okay, not that long, but like say a good 4 days or so. We've been missing blue skies here, and so it was a little bit like, oh my gosh, like blue skies, my old friend, blue skies. There's something about seeing blue, this shade of blue particularly today, that turns my system on. It's a turn on for me to be connecting to the sea of trees that I see every time I look out my window, and then to see the backdrop of at least some blue. Today there's also lots of clouds and not a lot of sun. Sun is definitely a turn on for me, but I'm not seeing sun so much as the blue skies. So I know this about myself. I know that blue skies are a turn on. It wasn't a big surprise that when my eyes opened and received that, that my system responded. And it just started kind of shooting things off in my mind, in my attention with regards to what we include and what we don't include in our attention. It made me think like, oh, I haven't been really paying attention to the skies as much as I often do. I have, as I said, I have a sea of trees outside my backyard and I don't have blinds. So every time I look out my windows, I see this beautiful welcoming of trees and then the sky behind that. And so if there are blue skies, I will tend to gaze more and include the sky more, the scenery more. But because it's been so gray here and rainy, I have not been including the skies. And that's fine. Instead I've been including other things that turn me on, that are a turn on. I've been including scent more. I've been including music more. I've been including other visuals more, other ways of nourishing my system more that keep my flow, my fluidity moving, my system open and in connection. Gloomy gray skies are not my go-to when it comes to enlivening my system or connecting with the fluidity that's always here. That's not my go-to. So I'm going to include what does, right? But we have this thing called negativity bias, and where it's very scientific, it's very neuropathic, where our attention will focus on what we don't like. So, for example, if we're not aware of this bias, we will include the gloomy skies even though they feel like drudgery to us. We will just keep orienting to gloomy skies and be like, I hate these effing gloomy skies. I hate this weather. And we will get caught in that negativity of what we don't like, of what we don't want, right? And that's not a deficiency on our part, so to speak. That's neural pathways at work. That's a negativity bias that our neural pathways are oriented to. Luckily, we can disrupt neuropathic tendencies or habits with conscious attention and conscious practices. So my conscious practices are how I start my day. They're how I live my life. And they do guide my life. And so I don't dwell on gloomy skies when they're happening, but I include sunny skies more when they are happening, right? So this made me think of, lots of things. It made me think of this negativity bias, which actually bypasses wellness or well-beingness or abundance. And it made me think of the flip too, that sometimes when we so want to have positive experiences that we bypass what we don't like. So inclusion isn't about bypassing. Inclusion isn't about excluding. Inclusion or orienting is about acknowledging, oh, there might be gray skies out there. I see some dark clouds out there. Yes. And what else is there, right? Oh, today there's blue skies. Yesterday, what else is there? Oh, yes, there's also this warmth from say inside my house, or this warm tea that I'm drinking, which reminds me I want some warm tea. So thinking about what we're orienting to is so important when we want to be conscious participants on this planet, because our negativity bias will just take over, and then we'll be encumbered by that or led by that, and we won't be conscious participants. We'll just be unconscious participants, which is really not a very empowered way to be on this planet, right? I think we all know that. So I'm thinking now about how this ties into New Year's Eve resolutions, or New Year's resolutions. I'm not actually a big fan of New Year's resolutions. I'm not a big fan of resolutions in general. I think because of the capitalism that's connected to them, and the exploitation of our humanity, actually, that is tied up in this concept of resolutions. But what I am a big fan of is intention, right? Is connecting to, consciously connecting to, purposefully connecting to intentions. And if you read my blog, or you are connected with me in any way, you know this already about me. This is a lot of the work that we do in my matrix integration exploration and my one-on-ones, and even in the gatherings. We just get conscious and clear, right, about what we are wanting, what we're desiring, our intentions. And that allows us to be conscious, empowered participants. So I'm thinking about these resolutions again, and I'm just really inviting us all to get clear on if we do have something that we're wanting as we move into 2022, or just as we're moving into January 3rd, or if we're moving into 11 o'clock, whatever, as we're moving into this moment, what are we wanting to be connecting with? What do we want to be connected with? What do we want to be consciously including? I'm going to use the stereotypical one that really is so tied to capitalism and exploitation, this goal to lose 25 pounds. Okay, let's go for the weight one, because that's what's most capitalized in our culture around this time of year. You'll see all the ads for exercise programs, losing weight, diets. Capitalism loves this time of year to exploit our desires that we don't know how to get clear on. So we just go for the 25 pounds, right? 25 pounds, and that's going to make my life so much better. And now it may, however, we want to get really clear on what it is that we're really wanting. If I am wanting to lose 25 pounds, there must be a good reason for that, right? We'd think, but we don't always know necessarily what's driving us. So we want to slow down to get curious about what it is that we're really wanting. So if I'm wanting to lose 25 pounds, what am I really wanting by losing 25 pounds? Okay, I might say I want to be in better health. Or I might say I want to look better. That's a big one. And that has a lot of cultural dominant oppressive narrative tendrils, as does health, or really as do most reasons why folks want to lose 25 pounds. But let's just say that they're all valid. And then, but we also want to get curious of what's under that desire to lose 25 pounds. If I want to lose 25 pounds with the presumption that it's going to give me good health, then maybe that's actually what I'm desiring. Maybe I'm wanting good health. And maybe it will come through losing 25 pounds. Maybe it will come through more conscious relationship with food in general. Maybe it will come from feeling good about my relationship with life. Maybe it will come about in ways I have no idea, right? I might be more connected to health in ways, or what I might say, what brings me to more health may have nothing to do with losing 25 pounds, right? So, and then we might even say, well, what's under that? I'm wanting to be in good health, whatever that means. What do I think that will bring me? happiness, maybe. Oh, then I'll be happy, right? Oh, okay. So what I'm really desiring is not to lose 25 pounds, not to be in good health necessarily. I'm desiring to be healthy. Okay. So now we're getting more clear and honest about what we're really wanting, what we're really desiring. And then we can more consciously connect to, oh, what's getting in the way of me being unhappy, so to speak, right? So we could keep going on this journey. We could keep exploring what's underneath happy, right? What will I experience when I'm happy? There's maybe a desire under that. Either way, we can just keep getting curious and slow down to connect what it is to what it is that we're really wanting. And then we can really consciously connect to what will bring us toward what we're really wanting. And I think I use this example with the food because we can really torture ourselves with some of these resolutions or goals. I don't think any of us need more torturing or more tying ourselves in knots or any more self-judgments or any more setting ourselves up for more shame or any more alignment with the capitalist culture that we live in. I think we all want and can and deserve actually more than that. So when we get really clear on what it is that we want and need, then we can get more clear on those components. And for me, I think it's really important to have conversations to connect to folks who can help me get more clear, and then to build practices that will get me lead me toward what I'm wanting to connect with, what I'm most desiring. So this is kind of coming back to a little bit. For me, this is all related to what we include in our attention. If I'm just wanting to lose 25 pounds, I'm going to be so hypervigilant about so many things, right? I'm going to be so hypervigilant on what I'm eating and what I'm looking like and this very narrow goal. And I'm going to be excluding so much else, right? So when we're talking about our intentions, we want to open the doors. We want to open more. We want to include more of what we've not connected to. Why am I so fixated on losing 25 pounds? This analogy is starting to wear on me a little bit. Like, I so don't like it. I can feel myself cringe slightly every time I say it, but I'm just going with it for the example. But to get more clear, like, what is it that I'm really wanting? Maybe I'm really wanting to learn how to love myself. Like, oh, how might I do that? And this is what brings me back to the blue skies, right? So if we know what our systems align with, if we know what our systems get nourished from, if we know how to orient our attention in ways that feed ourselves, that connect to the depths of us from all the way from inside the micro and the macro in relationship, then we don't have to fixate on these tiny little things that might really draw our attention away from our wellness and into matching up some idea or fantasy that we hope and maybe believe will bring us the wholeness or the joy or happiness that we want. But it actually, as we know, will keep our chasing our tails in a system that is meant to keep us chasing our tails, right? So if we can include other things in our orientation with our attention, the slowing down, oh, I'm just feeling that right now, this real importance to slow down so that we can include what it is that we really want to connect with, what we really want to get to know. We really want to get to know our well-beingness. We can try as much as we want to do it from our heads. And it's such an understandable route that we will go that way. But the invitation is to slow down and see, like, what else is available here when I include the rest of me. And when I include the rest of my sitting, breathing body, when I feel the solidity of the chair under me, as I also take in the blueness of the sky in front of me and the glorious trees in front of me, but I also include the glorious movement of energy in my system. And I'm going to include that because it is yummy. It is yummy as fuck, right? So I want to include this yummy resonance of energy that's moving through me, that's connecting to breath, that's connecting to my attention, that is moving downward in through my body, even though I'm also connecting to what seemingly is outside of me. So this inclusion of what's here now, this inclusion of the movement of breath, this inclusion of the chair behind me that is really literally holding my being right now and lets my nervous system get to soften and rest. Inclusion of what does feed my system, which includes my warm tea, chai, that I love drinking in the morning. It includes the beautiful trees. It includes the sun that I am assuming is out there somewhere with these blue skies that we have today. And then all of a sudden, like I'm out of this rat race of 25 pounds because there's already something of wellness known. I don't have to chase it through vigilance, right? I don't think we need any more vigilance. Lisa Marie, I'm seeing your comments. I can't read them, but I see that you're here, and I love knowing that we're together right now, even though I don't see you, but I can feel you, and I'm really glad that you're here. And this is another thing, right? We need to have community and connection. We need to be doing this work together. I'm so grateful for my communities of practice. I have many of them. I have many of them in Bloomington where I live. I also have international ones. And I have communities of practice that are coming through my own business, Integrative Healing. So, so grateful. My Matrix Integration Exploration 2022 is starting at the end of February, and we will be building a beautiful community to be conscious creators, conscious empowered creators together. So I'm really looking forward to that. These things have been running around in my system for the last couple of days, so I'm glad some time and space opened so I could just practice one of my intentions, which is speaking my truth more with the world, with y'all, with myself. And so I'm really grateful for this opportunity. If you want to learn more about this, my Matrix Integration Exploration 2022, please reach out and let me know. Or anything else that I mentioned that you want clarity on. Yeah, let's get clarity. We can all use clarity. All right. Love you all. Bye for now.